time it was, the lights were low. Oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio. Oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, not a soul, he said. Then the loud sound, it seemed to fade. Came back like a slow voice on a wave of fade. That wasn't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie.
So the Bowie shoes were like this big thing that you really wanted these shoes.
Vans did a collaboration, and if you know Will, you know he always has a pair of Vans on his feet.
It was on your list and you spent ages picking out which ones you wanted.
So from my understanding, the Bowie shoes were a gift that you got a few years back.
They finally arrive. They're pristine in this box.
These David Bowie shoes were glorious. They were nice pearlescent white, little metallic, very pizzazzy considering Will's style's typically more reserved than that.
And you kept them in the box the entire time. They never came out of the box except when you wore them.
You idolized them the way fucking anyone would idolize like a little golden statue of a god.
He opens the box like it's the most delicate thing in the museum that you've ever seen. Looks at it, just takes it in, says, "Oh, this tissue paper, look at this tissue paper." Delicately unwrapping everything, making sure not to disturb anything, because you know what's important about the shoes? The box, if you're Will.
Oh, you were just, you admired them. They kind of, I think you slept with them actually. They kind of
That's not true.
I'm pretty sure they were like right next to your bed.
Takes off the shoes, starts modeling them, feeling so proud of himself.
You just kept looking at them. You were just in love with this pair of shoes.
Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Let me make it plain, gotta make way for the Homo superior.
For the record, it's a nice fucking box.
You have a problem.
Well, you went through this whole thing where you had the like the kitchen cloth and you'd wipe them down and then put them back in the box.
There's mud, there's puddles, and then there's Will, tiptoeing around puddles and disgusting worms, trying to keep his shoes as beautiful as possible.
Yeah, before we saw the stains, that was... Those shoes were not allowed to get dirty. I think you probably washed the soles as well.
Well, not the bottom of them.
And he was willing to punch anyone in the throat if they threatened to step on his shoes.
We are the Goon Squad and we're coming to town. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
You wanted to keep them perfect. There was only, and they had to, I mean, they just had to be exactly as they were when they arrived.
With you, perfectionism kind of goes with you.
When you were 4-ish, you remember we had the 4-H pumpkin baking session in the kitchen.
He seriously does line all of his mugs up so the handles are all facing in the same direction.
and this woman came with 2 children who are way too young for 4-H.
Just with any little project that you did, you wanted to do it until you got it right.
You had your train table set up at the time with all your Thomas the Tank Engine trains, and it was very, very specific the way you had it. I mean, you played with that thing constantly, but it was all set up in a way that you didn't want to be messed with. And so we said to this little boy, who was about 2, you can't play with the Thomas the Tank Engine toys. Play with anything else, but not with that. And he wasn't like being gentle with them, he was like pointing all over the place. If you tried really, really, really hard not to let this kid get to you. But he did.
So be that a film or a song on piano, or even your posters that you had on the wall next to your bed. If they were a tiny bit askew, you kept moving them.
Right, to the right, move to the right. Okay, alright. Oh, shit. It needs to go a little higher. Hold on. You got it.
And then you shoved him. And he fell over on his little padded, nappied bottom and was fine, but his mother was all upset and left with children crying. Now, you may ask why this is a good thing. I couldn't stand her.
Like with songs, like I said, you would, if you forgot a single part, you would ignore everyone else you were with and just keep playing until you got it right.
You've been really useful at doing things like organising the pantry and organising the junk cupboard in the kitchen and also tidying the shoes so they're always lined up.
Last time I was here, this was still organized.
Which is a little amoral, but
Victoria, I can't do that. I'm on Angry Birds 1. I haven't finished all the levels yet. I'm like, what do you mean? It's Angry Birds.
we harness it and use it to my advantage, so it's all good.
You know what happens to those shoes?
After 3 times of wearing them, you noticed a change in the colour, which I couldn't see, and nobody else could see but you. And that was kind of the beginning of the problem,
They get a stain.
which I believe we are calling colour migration, is that correct? You took the shoes to the cobbler and the cobbler said, colour migration, the best thing you can do is try and cover it up with nail polish.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, so that's when the whole nail polish idea came in. So then we went out and I went to the store, spent ages looking for the right colour. I think we ended up with 2 colours, so there was like a base coat and then a top coat. The one
Well, it was a hard color to recreate.
we did a pretty good job, I have to say. The nail polish was a genius idea.
It was.
except You weren't happy with it.
You kept them in the same spot and you would just know that they were there. You wouldn't get them out, you wouldn't put them on, take a stroll outside. You were very much the shoes are there and they're mine.
So natural, religiously unkind.
But if anyone ever brought them out or if anyone mentioned them, you'd get really sad because you knew they weren't perfect anymore. The Bowie shoes kind of speak to you as a person.
Very analytical. Everything needs to be organized in an order. Very anal about strange things.
You try your best, and sometimes your best doesn't work good enough, okay?
But we have to love them anyway.
Nobody else can see the stains on the shoes. They're very, very cool shoes. I wish you were still wearing shoes, but you can't. So, you're a little silly, but it's fine. You're endearing. We're used to it.
They show who you idolize, David Bowie. They show that if any little thing is broken or a little bit misshapen, you will try and fix it.
Do you still love me?
I still love you.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm really glad that the newest Bowie shoes are not white and hopefully will not have any colour migration issues.
I'm going to laugh so hard when he gets mud on it, and I better be the person to put mud on those shoes.